Thank you for clicking this video. This is Bartalkwithola. My name is Mojola, and today I want to start a series on motions. That's a working title, but essentially I'm going to be making a string of videos on how to move different types of motions in court. We're going to be talking about motions ex parte and motions on notice. Motions are, or a motion is an application before the court asking the court to command the doing of something or to command the stoppage of an act. Motions are not strangers on this channel because we've talked about motions a whole lot. If you check the description box, you'll find some videos we've done on motions. I've done a full comprehensive video on motions, what they are, how they are used, how to file, how to move, how to draft. I've done a video on drafting motions. I've done a video on moving different types of motions too. But essentially what I'm starting today is a series whereby I will be moving different types of motions. I will try to cover as much or as many motions as possible, as is possible that or probable that a young lawyer would likely move in Nigeria. So motions are very easy. They are easy because you can literally read it out. That's what I'm going to be doing a lot in this series. I'm going to be reading what's on the face of the motion paper. So you'd see me look into my motion paper to read out what I'm moving before the court. Essentially, you don't have to read everything that's on the face of the motion paper. That would not be moving a motion. But there are portions that you just have to read it. So there's no need for you to memorize it. So if you're going to court for the first time to move a motion, or if you've been going to court but it's the first time you're actually moving a motion, I hope that this series of videos and all the other videos we've done on motions will be of a tremendous help to you, and I'd love to get feedback from you in the comment section and at my email at houseoflivingstones@gmail.com. So today the first motion we're going to be moving is a motion for striking out. A motion for striking out a matter. Now, an application is the more formal name that a motion is called, but more informally we call it a motion. So whether you say a motion or an application, you're saying the same thing. The court recognizes both titles or both nomenclature. So we're going to be moving a motion for striking out. This motion is essentially asking the court to strike out a matter for lack of jurisdiction. So it's a preliminary objection. Preliminary objections are brought to court by way of motion. So the court has to rule on it, especially before it goes to trial, because most times preliminary objections speak or challenge the jurisdiction of the court to even hear the matter at all. So some courts, of course, I've mentioned in the video on preliminary objections that some courts decide to take everything at judgment, but there are courts that will first rule on it. Because you can even appeal that ruling up to the Supreme Court before you come back for the substance of the matter. So that's the way things are. So today we're moving an application to strike out a writ of summons for lack of jurisdiction. We are telling the court you do not have jurisdiction over this matter, so strike it out. Now, a motion goes with two other things. So the Trinity, we say motion, affidavit in support, and written address. Those three things are always present in a motion. The motion is where you tell the court your prayers, and you put the omnibus prayers. We talked about it. Please watch the video on motions. It will help a lot. Then the second thing is the affidavit in support, where you actually talk about why you have brought this motion to court. You talk about some facts in that affidavit. Then we talk about a written address, where you talk about decided cases and law, that supports what you're asking from the court. So we are, in most cases, going to be moving the motion, talking about the motion alone, but we would also refer to the affidavit in support and the written address. So this is how to move a motion for striking out of a matter. You inform the court that you have a motion before the court. Then the court will ask you, if it's a motion on notice, the court will ask if you've served the other party. I feel like I've repeated this a lot, but let's repeat it again. The court will ask if the other party has been served and if they are ready, that is, if they filed a counter or if there's anything, a response, what their response, their disposition to the motion is, which would be, my lord, we're not opposing, or my lord, we have filed our own counter affidavit, we are ready to. So you will move your motion, and then they would move their counter, and the court will rule on it, except, of course, anyone has some further response to what the last person said. My lord, we have a motion before this honorable court this morning. Our motion is dated the 15th day of February 2015 and filed on the same date. Our motion is brought pursuant to Section 272 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Order 15 Rule 16 of the High Court of Lagos State Civil Procedure Rules 2012 and under the inherent jurisdiction of this Honorable Court. Our motion is praying this court for an order striking out the writ of summons for lack of jurisdiction and for such further or other orders as the Honorable Court may deem fit to make in the circumstances. Our motion is supported by a 10-paragraph affidavit deposed to by one Kingston Charles and a written address. We urge the court to grant our prayers. We are most obliged, my Lord. So that is it. You've moved your motion. It is so simple. So you can see I said you read it out from the face of the motion paper, but you don't read everything. So you read out only the orders, the law backing up your motion, and the order that you're asking for, and the omnibus order. You tell the court when it was, what date the motion is dated, and when it was filed. And then you inform the court that you also have an affidavit in support. You do not read the affidavit. And then you tell the court you have a written address as well, and then you ask the court to grant your prayers before the court. So that's basically how to move a motion. If you're moving a counter as well, you would literally have to do the same thing with just minimal differences. There's a video on motion and counter affidavits on this channel. Please watch it. I might do a video on responding to motions, separately if time permits, but this is already a series of motions. So this is our first motion for striking out. So that is all you need to do. And then the court will ask the other party to respond if they filed a counter, or ask for their response if they have not filed a counter, and they will tell the court that we are not opposed, my lord. And then the court will make a ruling. It could be a bench ruling. The court may decide it's granted or it's not granted, or it could be that the court will adjourn for ruling. And that is how to move a motion. You like to talk to a lawyer, for personal consultation, paid consultation, mail me at houseoflivingstones@gmail.com, or just click the link in the bio, which will lead you straight to booking a session and paying for the consultation. I will see you in my very next video. Don't forget to subscribe to this.